Welcome. This is Make Lemonade, your host, John. Today we're talking about rainy days. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to Make Lemonade. Today we're talking about rainy days with your host, John. That's me. And have you ever had a rainy day before? I gotta tell you, I've had rainy days exactly, metaphorically, and literally today, on this day, I had a big rainy day with storms and lightning during the day. And let me tell you, it stopped me from doing a lot of things. For example, I was editing for my summer show video, Believe Again, and the lights kept going out, so I had to turn everything off before I lost any footage. I didn't want to lose anything, so I just turned it off because my TV kept turning it off, my monitors kept turning it off, my computer kept turning it off, everything. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to risk it. And it was to a long time before it stopped, and we had to just rest for a little bit, distract ourselves by food, because our lights went out too. So I went out to get some Chick-fil-A and everything. Anyways, my point is, I'm pretty sure that you've had one of those rainy days in your life where the rain came, everything stopped, and you were left with just being back again in the Stone Age with no lights, no, electricity, anything. And you just had to sit there with candles in the dark, waiting for the light to come back on. Now, if you can relate to this, or you can be like, I've done that once, or done it twice, or many times it's happened to you or to an individual, then you know exactly what I'm talking about today. Rainy days. And of course, we're going to use rainy days as a metaphor for you today. So I've had so many rainy days. I remember since my childhood where, rain and hurricanes would come, and it was just crazy, right? And it stops everything. It stops you from working. It stops you from moving. And your day just comes to a rest. And so there's two areas that I want to talk about when we mention the word rainy day. Now, rainy day can mean two things for me. And I hope that in some way this you can relate to, and you can use it to share with someone that needs to hear this. So again, thank you for hearing and being with us today, whether you're being in your car, running, whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, I myself love to listen to podcasts when I'm going for a jog, when I'm running. And believe me or not, I even listen to myself on the radio, on the podcast, because, I like to hear what I'm saying and apply it to my own life, when I'm doing it at the same time. It's just crazy. Anyways, to my point, rainy days. So the good part about rainy days, well, let me put it like this. I like always hearing the bad news first before I hear the good news. So I'm going to do the same here. So the bad thing about rainy days is this rainy days can be anything that has to do metaphorically with something bad that's happened in your life that just sweeps you off your feet, and, you unexpectedly expected it. That doesn't even make sense, I think. But if you get what I'm saying, you didn't expect it, right? When a storm comes and you're inside your house, you don't look at the weather reports or anything that has to do with the metaphor, the rain. You kind of you miss the storm. You don't prepare for the storm, and you don't prepare for a rainy day, because a rainy day can bring so much. A rainy day can bring mud. A rainy day can bring flooding. A rainy day can bring lights out, darkness. It can bring so much that can ruin your day from doing anything. And this is the part of rainy day that I believe we've all been there, where something happened in our lives, like a rainy day, and our life is just turned upside down. And it's really hard to understand, because we were not prepared for what happened. And this happens a lot because it's something unexpectedly. You're surprised. It's something you didn't expect. But when a rainy day comes, it gives you warnings. What are the warnings that rainy days give you? Well, for one, the clouds get dark, all right? Not only the clouds get dark, but you can start smelling the rain if you go outside. You would be able to smell it. But you can see the rain from far away. And in today's world, or in our times now, you can see ahead of schedule how the weather will be. But what happens when you don't prepare for rain? For a stormy, weather, for a rainy day? What happens when you don't prepare? Well, for example, if you don't prepare with an umbrella, you're going to get wet, first of all. If you don't prepare with a flashlight, if you don't prepare with a raincoat, if you don't prepare with some rain boots, you're going to get wet. You're going to get water in your shoes, and you're going to be looking for lighting or using your phones, wasting battery in the last minute. So, so many things happen within the weather, within a rainy day, that really, really takes us off course. And that's the bad side about rainy days. But the good thing about rainy days that I like to point out is rainy days make us focus, or should I say refocus, on what we haven't seen or what we've missed. Sometimes we're so busy in life that we miss the things that are so simple that when we come to realize it, we think, wow, I never saw that. But it was always there. What are those things? Well, sometimes they are looking into someone else's eyes. And of course, you're in the dark, but when you're in the dark and you flash somebody's face, you can see a lot of details that you didn't see before because the light is directed on a person's face. And of course, that sounds cliche, but another thing is you miss the experience of hanging around those people that you love. Now, those are one of my favorite parts of rainy days because you sit around people who are, your family, your friends, wherever you're stuck at, and you get to pretty much be human. Interact with other people, talk, laugh, talk about stories, share experiences. Those are things that a rainy day brings. Some of the things that I like to point out when you go outside with a rainy day is we don't realize that rain actually waters our grass. Believe it or not, rain waters our grass. And of course, I'm being sarcastic, but my point to this is we miss those things. We miss, and we like to see the ugliness like on rain makes mud and we get stuck. But yet when the rain goes, because of the grass, feeding off it, and the sun hits the grass and our grass turns green, wow, now that's beautiful. So, there's so many things the rain brings. But what can we do? Rainy days are meant for me, and I hope for you. Rainy days are meant to be a place of just coming together and remembering. I like to call the rainy days remember, because we sit down and we think about what it would be without electricity, without AC, without water, without a lot of things that we have today that we belittle because they're just secondhand things. We have water, we can just turn on the sink. We have AC, we just need to lower it or higher it according to our body temperatures. So many things. We have family, they're alive. As long as they're alive, I don't need to talk to them. I mean, there's so many that I like to call rainy days remembering day. Days that we just gather together to talk, remind ourselves that we're humans, that we should love one another, respect one another, and above all, the golden rule, do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. And so rainy days should be a day not only to remember, but a day that you know that you're human and there are things in life that are more important than the everyday busy life. And that is the person next to you. And that is it for today, guys. I just wanted to talk real simple on just rainy days, and what rainy days mean to me and what I see in rainy days. Because, so many times we get, too caught up in things. And then when some stuff like this happens, when rainy days just cuts everything off, work, and you just stop for a moment just to look at the rain and the beauty and just admire nature and just admire what it is to live for just those maybe minutes, seconds, hours. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to breathe. It's a blessing to just relax for a moment and know that you're living. So with that, I leave you with a simple message of a rainy day. And I hope that your day goes great and that you have an amazing, amazing day with your family, those that you love, your friends, and everything else. Guys, we talk to you later. This is Bank Limited with your host, John. Peace.